So I'm having a morning coffee. And I would like to talk about the loop. So we're born, of course, we're born into some families, different types of families, maybe very traditional, maybe very religious. And we are trained to follow certain beliefs by our parents. So we start following certain beliefs because that's what we are told, that's what we know, we've always known. And then they sent us to schools. We went there and gave it our all. We studied and, you study all this, whatever, you went through the nurseries, you went through the primaries, you went through the college. You went to university, and then you graduated. And then during the course of your life, of course, you was involved with the church. So you went to that church. There are so many of them, hundreds of them. Maybe you was a Jehovah Witness, a Baptist, I don't know, a Catholic, maybe Protestant, born again, Muslim. Maybe you're a Buddhist. And those churches also, they gave you a certain set of rules. I've manifested that this video will reach the people who are trying to wake up, the ones who are trying to wake up or the ones who have awakened. It's very few people will catch up on what I'm saying here in this video. And I'm very interested. I would like to know at the end of this video, I would like to know if you get it, if you know what I'm saying. So the church told you something. We pray like this. We read the Bible. We have a Quran. We have our own holy book. So you were told, given a set of rules. And then you finished your school. You went to find a job. You got the job. Maybe even you haven't yet got the job, you're still struggling after your education. And you're starting to feel like there has to be more, there has to be more to life. You cannot just wake up and brush your teeth, go take a shower, lay your bed, get your cup of coffee, whatever, or tea, put on your uniform, go to school, or go to work, whichever job you're employed. Come back home, meet your family, eat dinner. Watch a couple of series on TV, then go to bed. The next morning, the same thing. Different day, same thing. You wake up again, take a coffee, lay your bed, drop your kids off to school, go to work, put in the hours, even sometimes extra hours. Come back home again, have some dinner, watch some series with the family, go to bed. And then you're starting to figure out that this can't be it, This can't be it. You cannot just be waking up from time to time, from day to day, year after year, doing the same things that you did yesterday. Maybe you could have gotten lucky. In your job, maybe you got a little promotion, maybe you were pushed onto another position, whatever, and of course your salary increased a little bit. They raised your salary by a couple of pennies, or $1 or two. And now you're figuring out that you're getting older, you're aging. You're hitting your 40s, your 50s. Most likely you never got married, or you got married, things failed. Okay, it happens. And you find yourself asking some serious questions. What is it you can do to change this a little bit? Okay? And now you're thinking that you're stuck. You're stuck in a cycle. You do the same thing, You're raising kids, go to the job, take care of family, come back to sleep, and then you're waiting for the opportunity when you can actually go for a nice holiday for yourself, go have a holiday somewhere warm. And the holiday almost seems impossible. You can't even afford your holiday. After putting in all those years of work, you're still figuring out that you're working for, you feel like you're working for nothing, or you're just working for food, just to hand to mouth, eat, paycheck to paycheck, seeing the same people. Some of you guys are even working in toxic environments. And you're starting to figure out that there's a problem. Most likely you don't really know what it is, but you're starting to question a couple of things. You are thinking that there has to be a problem, At your age, probably you have already worked in 20 different companies. And the routine has always been the same. Nothing has changed. The only thing that has changed is the environment, but the routine is the same. Probably the same money. And you are thinking there has to be something more, For the most of us who have been with narcissists, then you met the narcissist, of course. You was looking for a date, or you wanted to start relationships, and you met this narcissist. And this pattern even got worse. You feel like the cycle even got worse with the narcissist. It's like you've been sleeping your entire life. Because you're doing the same thing, getting the same results, and your life is at a standstill. It's like there's nothing else you can do, You do everything that you think you should do, because that is what you've been trained from your church, from your parents, at home, from your religion, from your environments, maybe sometimes from your governments. And you're believing that there has to be something more. There has to be something more. You cannot wake up every single day and do the same thing over and over again. You're getting the same results, and you're thinking probably there will be a day when things are going to change. But for some reason, it is still the same thing. Nothing is changing. The same cycle, the same pattern, the same people, the same salary. You're hoping for holidays. Maybe you get a chance, you go for a 1 week holiday, then you're going to wait for that 1 week holiday. Then the next chance is going to be the next year. And this is a cycle. You cannot wake up and be yourself. You cannot wake up and just do the things you've always wanted to do, So this is a scenario which is very common around the world. So many people, they live in this cycle. I would like to call it the loop. But upon awakening, you're going to start to realize that this is some kind of simulation, It's like you're walking around, especially after awakening in the early weeks, maybe months. I could say maybe months. You will start to figure out the very moment you step out of your house that everybody is walking in a cycle. I remember back in the days I was waking up. I got out of the house. I saw this little guy open his door at a particular time, open the door, put on the uniform, jump in their car, maybe go to work or whatever. I would walk ahead, meet a set of guys at the bus stop, waiting for their bus. There were like 3 or 4 guys. They're also going to work. Then I went to the park, and there was this little guy, this old man with his dog. I think there were 2 dogs, very big German shepherds. That thing happened the second time. I was like, wow, this thing looks like a simulation, you know what I mean? At the same time, same place, maybe a little bit different, another area, but same situation, same scenario, similar patterns. I started to see that this was some kind of simulation. Even it came to that, it came to the worst when I could even sometimes see the same cars. Do you know when you go out of your house and you still see the same cars passing by your house at a particular time? The same people driving by the postman coming at the same time. They're probably wearing the same clothes. And you're starting to see some kind of a simulation. So you start to see this thing looks like a video game, you know? It's like a video game whereby you see characters, you know where the characters are, and you know what they are going to do, what kind of clothes they will wear, and where they will be at a particular time. So you're just starting to see that this life is looking like a simulation, you know? And ladies and gentlemen, I'll tell you something. For me, the most shocking event has been my awakening. When I started to really see the simulation for what it is, you know. And one of the most, I could say, uncomfortable things will be you realizing that you're the only one that can see this, you know. So you have that feeling that you can see, and you can also feel that it looks as if people are sleeping, you know. Somebody's sleeping, people are sleeping. And you get that sense of, it's like people are like sleepwalking or something like that. It's like somebody's walking, their eyes are open, they are talking, but on a spiritual level, you feel like they are sleeping. Now, if you have not seen this already, and you haven't yet figured it out, then I think you're still sleepwalking, you know. And there are something that has got to change. Something has got to change. You cannot keep on seeing the same experience, having the same experience day in, day out, week in, week out, month after month, year after year. You know, you're growing older and you're realizing that there's nothing is changing. You have been doing the same things in a repeated pattern all your entire life. And you're thinking, what is it that you can do to change, at least even to get some sort of freedom, some sense of freedom whereby you can be able to wake up and make your own decisions, maybe be your own boss, you know, make your own rules at work, create your own company, create your own craft, go your own direction, go on holidays when you want to go, you know, and you can have at least a comfortable amount of resources, money or abundance, that you can be able to create your own world and live life according to your own means, you know. You guys have seen these nomads. I think one of the most common way of waking up, common way and very effective way of waking up, is by being a nomad. I've been seeing a lot of nomads around. I've been seeing them online, many nomads around, who just like, you know, they quit their jobs. I don't tell you to go and quit your job because I'm talking about this. And don't go and quit your job. Take your time and do some research, okay? So I've seen some nomads who, you know, they just left their work. They was tired of everything. They just left the work. And they bought, probably they sold their house or they sold their car or whatever, and they bought a, what do they call this? Is like a camper van or something like that. These mobile homes. And they were like, okay, now they're going to start traveling the world. And it looked like a very stupid decision to do, something very stupid to make. But when you look very closely, when they keep on pursuing that journey, they are going to realize they are free. They are free. They may not really have all the resources they need, but they have some sort of sense of freedom whereby they can wake up and, figure out what they want to do, drive their camper van to another destination, stay there for a couple of weeks, and, like that kind of stuff. Some of them sold their houses out of the cities, and they have gone off grid, started planting their own food, built their own greenhouses somewhere on their pieces of land, and started living their own way, authentic way. Now, one of the things you can do if you're a person that is stuck in these kind of cycles, there comes a time when you have to break the cycle, And I think breaking the cycle is one of the most painful things you will ever experience. It will be very, very difficult to break out of a cycle, Because you have to go into creation. You have to start creating something different, something new. You might say, okay, I've been working this company for 20 years. You're still in that same position you've always been. You're still paying your rent. You're still going through the same cycles all over and over again. And it's like, you're tired, You're just tired of doing the same thing over and over again and getting the same results. But you want different results. Everybody, every single human being on this earth has got a dream of waking up one day and getting different results. And those results also include being financially free and being able to make your own decisions, do whatever it is you want to do, and go wherever it is you want to go, So breaking out of a cycle involves creating something out of your comfort zone. It can be something as simple as going YouTube, You may say, okay, I'm going to figure out something on YouTube. Maybe I want to start making some videos, teaching some people something. Like I've told you, these nomads, at the very beginning point of their journey, they just laid down their tools. They bought a camper van. Some of them went off grid, and they've been documenting their journey, And believe me, the life they're living afterwards is a very comfortable life. Very simple life, no rules, there are no limitations, no conditions. You just wake up, one morning, just, take care of your camper van, go make yourself breakfast, pluck out some, nice tomatoes from the garden, make some nice breakfast, enter your camper van and go to the next destination. Now, the loop, I can guarantee you, ladies and gentlemen, very many people are living in a loop. And it is one of the most scariest experiences for you to wake up one day and realize you've been living in a loop for your entire life. And it would feel like you could not get out of this cycle. You are stuck in this kind of cycle, It's like a roller coaster. You just go in circles and come back to where you've been and go again and come back to where you've been, and you don't know how to get out of this cycle. So how you get out of this cycle, how you break these kind of cycles, because these cycles, they are permanent. If you're not careful, you can live these cycles for the rest of your life. You can live those cycles, and people live these cycles for the rest of their lives. They retire, and then they realize they don't even have any money left in the savings to live in their old age, And they're still struggling even at old age. A lot of them end up in these, whatever they call them, like care homes, support homes, because they were never able to save a money that will help them live comfortably when they retire. So me, I think that we are trapped. I have fortunately gotten out of that trap because I can see it for what it is. I've been getting out of this illusion for the last 4 years. But there is people that actually, they are trapped in these loops. And sometimes it's very difficult to wake people up, It's very difficult to make people understand or help them understand what is happening, You can explain some things. Listen, this is what is happening, You've been in that job for 20 years. How long do you still want to be there and, get trapped in that cycle and system? And they don't know what you're talking about. Because this whole thing is like a program. You're in this program, you're sitting in this program. You get tired of it, you get sick of it, you get sick of your workmates, you get sick of the job, you get sick of your income, your salary. You can't even save enough, all the bills, pay your house and, buy food and, fuel for the car insurance and everything. You're left with about maybe $100 or $200 a month on savings. Now you can imagine you're saving $200. I'm giving you an example, but it can be a different situation. So you're saving $200 a month or $300 a month. So in the year, you may have about, how much is that times 12, Maybe 4,600 or something in a year, ladies and gentlemen. So how much money are you going to have, to be honest, for your retirement, for you to get to that state whereby you can be free? You know that, okay, so even that you've retired, you're comfortable, okay? Probably you've already built your own house or your own home, and you can live comfortably, and there is something to leave behind for your children. This kind of thing is a whole scam. Me, I believe that this whole thing, there is something wrong in the system. There's a scam somewhere going on, You start to believe that we've been scammed this entire time by churches, beliefs, religious, putting us in constriction in little box, telling us what we need to do, You cannot do that, you cannot do this because God said or Jesus said that, and all these kind of things, limitations, And then our parents also made it worse. Maybe some of us, of course, some of us have grown up in these functional homes. So you have a home and families where they are teaching you their old beliefs and systems that they have learned from their previous generations that have not even worked for them. So how do you have a parent who is teaching you things that they picked up from their generations, from their ancestors? Those things didn't work for them. Now they have carried all that baggage and dumped onto their new families, and you think that anything is going to change. You're just going to continue repeating the same cycles. So those are the things you hear about talking about the generational cycles, because those things have been carried on from previous generations. They have also come into this generation, and they're going to also be passed on to the future generations. So something has got to break. There is a problem somewhere. Something has to break. If nobody breaks those cycles, those things can continue forever. You can show your family that, listen, there's another way to live. You cannot keep on following these things that have not worked for people. You keep on following the same things, and your children are going to keep on following those same things. So those kind of doctrines. And those things are going on forever. They can't stop. So I personally believe that there's a problem. There's a problem. Many people are asleep. They are trapped in a cycle. They are trapped in a loop. And many people can't even wake up. They can't see it. They can't wake up. I personally do not know if everybody will wake up, I just believe some people will continue their entire life like that, and they will never wake up. And it's a very scary place to be, when you wake up one day and you have spent your entire life walking in a loop, and you are never able to live your best authentic life at one point, because you have just always been walking in a loop. And you never couldn't wake up. You never couldn't do something different, because that's the only thing you knew. You learned and you adopted from your ancestors, from your churches, from your religions and whatever, I'm not a religious person. And I do not have any problem with religion. People believe they are what they want to believe. Something that they have or been taught over the years, since they was children. But me personally, I stick to think for myself. I want to be a free thinker. I've always wanted to be a free thinker ever since I was a kid. So I never did well in schools and everything. I was usually the one who went the opposite way. Ever since I was in families and in schools, all my life, you know what I mean? But not everybody's like that, okay? So, ladies and gentlemen, let the fear go. Learn the art of creating something new. Learn the art of invention. Invent something. It may look like a small thing. It does not matter what it looks like. Invent something. One day, that thing is going to break you out of the matrix. That small thing that you will create is going to earn you a lot of freedom, money. You'll be able to spread your wings, all over the place, and you will be able to meet other people that never thought you could meet and interact with so many souls around the world. Because you see, when you're confined in a little box, the only thing you will see every day is your parents. You will see the people that you work with. For over 20 years, you're going to be meeting the same people, going to the same cafes, eating in the same restaurants, following the same gym, and you'll never be able to look outside of the box. So when you start creating new things, that is the step-by-step method of how you start to get out of this box, so that you can start to see life in a different way, in a different perspective. And you can be able to spread your wings a little bit further. Meet other souls, see other possibilities, because you cannot tell me that there's only one possibility. You cannot tell me that you came here to work in one job until the rest of your life, for all your life, you know what I mean? All your life you've grown an old man, and there's nothing you can even show that this is what I've made this entire time I've been working for this place, So learn the art of creation, chosen ones, ladies and gentlemen. Learn the art of creation. It will not make sense in the beginning when you're starting. It's going to be scary. It will look like you're not doing anything right. Something is wrong with you. Learn the art of creation. You can, yes, do whatever you've been doing all the time, but on the other side, try to look outside of the box and learn something new. Learn a craft. Learn a skill. You can go for some training online. There's always various trainers for different skills. Learn something there. Let them teach you what they have to teach you. Take your time. But you're going to discover that there are other possibilities. You did not come here to be enclosed in a little box and confined in a little box whereby you could not be able to think outside of that box. So let me know if this video resonates. You guys know what I'm talking about. A lot of guys who are working, you know how this cycle moves and how this cycle operates. So let us know if that experience has happened to you. If you can see it for what it is, drop us a comment in the section below and let us know what you think. And until then, I'll catch you guys in my next one. There's almost signing out. Much love and blessings. Peace.